5 basically, kind of. But anyways, I am 27. And actually, oh my God, I almost thought I was 28 for a second, but I don't know. I don't even know how old I am. Who
I
cares?
never know how old I am. It's fine.
I can't even remember. Okay. Anyways, I started this business 4 years ago, and my cousin came to me and she's like, you should do this. And I was like, yeah, right. Like, I just totally didn't believe it. I was like the biggest skeptic. And so it took me 6 months for my cousin to even like annoy me to join. So like, obviously if you have somebody that like, just don't give up on anybody, because you just never know, like, you could sign me, you know? And I always think that when I'm following with other people, I'm like, you could be me, you know? So like, you just can't judge people, because I was skeptical. Anyways, I joined and I just wanted a few extra $100 a month. I thought, it wasn't until I tried the wrap that came in my kit, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, these are awesome. Because I was a personal trainer. I was in the Army Guard. I had just graduated college. I was personal trainer, Army Guard. And obviously you don't have to be that smart to do this business, but I do have a bachelor's degree and I am pretty smart. I just like really, like, I feel like after having kids, it like takes your brain cells. Seriously, it's crazy. Anybody else have kids on here? Well, I know you do. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So I tried their app, couldn't keep my mouth shut. And my upline was like, you should have a party. And I was like, okay, I guess. And I invited all these people, and of the like 20 people that said they were going to come, 2 showed up. One of them was my mom and my mom's friend. And so I was like, I made $50, and I was like, this is awesome. You know what I mean? Like, as a broke college graduate, like $50 is gas. Like, that's awesome. And so my thought was, all right, I know it works. They all were excited. And there was 20 people that said they were going to come that didn't show up. So I was like, y'all are coming to my party whether you like it or not. So I just kept having them. I was like, they're like, oh, I can't come Saturday. I was like, cool, you can come Sunday. You know, like, and they're like, oh, well, I can't come Tuesday. I said, okay, cool, you be here Wednesday. You know, like, I literally like partied so much in the beginning. And I just did this part-time for 6 months. It took me 7 months to go Ruby. And then it took me 2 more months, and then I went Diamond. And then the next month I helped my parents go Diamond, got the $10,000 bonus when they had it. I sat at Diamond for a year. I almost quit, which is so crazy to me. Like, so like, if you've ever thought about quitting, my upline called me and was like, Carrie, like, what's going on? And I almost didn't answer a phone call because I was like, you're annoying, which is so bad. Like, but honestly, I think sometimes when you get in that headspace, like, it's easy to, you know, hear like the doubts in your head, and like, it'll like, the devil will tell you like, you're not good enough, or this isn't going to last, or you're not going to be successful, or like, it's just so easy, like the thoughts. And so I think when you get to that point of like thinking like, I want to quit, you're pretty negative. And like, you're not in it. Like, you don't like, you stop dreaming. And so, I almost quit. My upline talked me off the edge. And, I ended up losing my diamond rank. I got paid as a Ruby because I was negative, and I thought, oh, well, I don't have to work. Like, I'm getting paid, you know, like, and so I stopped doing anything because I was pregnant. And then 2 months later, I went to conference. Or no, I didn't. Sorry, you guys, like, I really am spacey, but you can totally do this business. Like, I don't know what's up with me tonight. But anyways, I haven't told my story in such a long time. Anyways, I had a C-section with my first baby in January, and I couldn't go to conference. But 8 people on my team went to conference, and we were living in my parents' basement at the time. My husband was working 3 jobs. I remember having my son and just thinking I don't know. I was just like, I just want to give you the world, you know, like, I think before I had kids, I hated my job. All right. So like, that was motivation to work really hard and then quit my job. But like, I couldn't get past that point because I didn't have another why. And then when I had my son, it was like, oh my God, like, I'll never look you in the face and tell you that you weren't worth this. And so this is crazy. 8 people went on my team. I had a C-section the week after. And we went from Diamond to 7 months later, went presidential. My husband went from being paid as a distributor to triple diamond. Like, this is so crazy. This is so crazy. I remember my husband, we were actually engaged at the time, I think. Yeah. And we were engaged. Actually, I don't even know if we were engaged. We were probably just dating then. Like, but we were close to being engaged, you know? And so I remember him being like, in January, this is January. I remember we pulled in my parents' garage and he's like, Carrie, I made $2. And I was like, yeah, but you got free product, you know? And then the next month, he was like, Carrie, I made $1. And I was like, yeah, but you got your new you for free and you got your shake for free, you know, like, because we were running his auto shipment on our second account because he's one of my second accounts. And I'm like, he's like, I'm not going to, or his renewal was coming up and he's like, I'm not going to renew. And I said, fine, quit, cancel. I said, I don't care. Like, just quit, just get off my back, you know, because he was just in my ear, like my account's not making money basically. But my account was paid to the diamond, but he just wasn't seeing the money and he was paying his auto ship. So he's like, I'm like, dude, you're not even working the business and you're getting your free product. So shut up, you know? And so what's so crazy is, you know, January, February, he made $1, $2. Well, 6 months later, July, we retired him and his paycheck alone was 5 figures. Yeah, it was a lot. It was crazy. It was like more than I had ever made in a year. And that was just his paycheck. So like 7 months, you guys, like I went to work and like we completely changed our lives and we moved out of my parents' house. We built a brand new house. Instead of moving into an apartment because we couldn't afford it, we built a brand new house. That was so cool. And then 6 months later, we went ambassador. My husband the next month went presidential. And then my 2.0 was like double. I'm working on triple. I'm working on it. And so, yeah, we sold that house. We bought a brand new house. We have a second baby. And my husband, what's so cool about the second baby is that my husband gets to be home and not miss out because he missed out on Riley's 6-7 months until we retired him. So
that's so awesome. And like, it really goes to show you that like mindset is so much in this business. Like if you allow yourself to be negative, and I went and saw the movie I Feel Pretty Today. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that. And it's literally about your mindset. Like she thinks that she like has a magic spell and she's all of a sudden like has this confidence and she's beautiful when really she looks the same. And like you can relate to that in this business, just knowing like if you have confidence in your business and what you're doing and you know why you're doing this, then you can accomplish anything that you literally want to accomplish. And that's so important. So during that time, like when you changed your mindset, like I know you had your son, so that was like kind of your why, but did you do any personal development or anything like that to like feed off of that? Or did you just go off of like solely what your why was?
no, like when I was like I think I'm really money motivated. So like I remember when I was like, I'm going to quit. Well, I was still making really good money. And so I thought, well, I'll just like, if I just stop working like that, money's just can continue to come in. And I was a really high paid diamond. I mean, I was making like $5,000 a month. So, I mean, I was like, I'm good. Like, this is cool. I've never made this much money in my life. Like, this is it. Like, I'm like, I didn't know that you could go, like, I don't know. Like, I just wasn't ready to go to the next level, obviously. And so I remember my check dropped. That was when I was paid as a Ruby, and I don't even know what it was. Maybe it was like $600 to $900. And I went, oh my God, I got to get to work. You know, like, I think like, I was like, I think you can either look at your paycheck. I think anybody can look at their paycheck and say, well, I'm going to quit, or I'm never going to see a paycheck this low again. And so I was like, I'm never going to see a paycheck this low again. And so like, I got to work, and I knew that I was having a baby in a few months. So I think I was kind of like, oh my gosh, like, dude, am I going to live my parents' basement forever? You know, like nobody wants to live, nobody like goes to college and is like, yeah, I'm going to live in my parents' basement. You know what I mean? Like, where do you live? In my parents' basement. Like, nobody wants to say that. And I was done. I was just done living there. And so I think you just have to decide, like, do you want to continue in the circumstances that you're at right now, or do you want to complain about it? Because that's the two things you can do. You can either complain or do. And I was like, I'm done complaining. I can go live here forever. Like, I was embarrassed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I was embarrassed living. I don't judge other people, but I've been there. And to me, it was embarrassing. I was like, to be in your parents' basement and have a child and your boyfriend living there, like I don't want to be there anymore. And so I got to work. Like I use that as my it fueled me enough to change our lives. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yes. And that's the awesome thing too, like about our comp plan, like you can literally decide and you can give yourself a huge pay raise in 1 month just because you decide to actually do something. So that's one thing that I love too. Oh, he's so cute.
he wants to take a bath bomb. He has to be
Oh
a
my
bomb.
gosh, Ella is obsessed with bath bombs. She calls them bath bombs or I don't know. She's always like, every time we go to the boutique, like, can you get me a bath bomb? And I'm like, Ella, seriously? I don't even take baths with bath bombs. Like, you're spoiled.
Me neither. I know. I'm like, you're like so bougie. You can't take a free bath. Like,
it's so true. That's so funny. Okay, so you have 2 kids. Like, trust me, I know the 2-kid life. Like, it's super crazy. A lot of people on here have kids. So what is your advice? Like, what do you do every day to make sure that you work your business and be a mom? And I know it's really hard and we all have our days, but like, do you have like a schedule or just kind of like do it on the fly, or like, what do you do?
yeah, it's really hard. I'm not going to lie. I was just thinking about that. I was like, dude, 2 kids, 1 kid, you think 1 kid is hard, and then you have 2 and you're like, what? How did I even think 1 kid is hard? I can't even imagine.
Yes.
I can't imagine having twins, Megan. That's crazy. You're super dumb. And so, let's see. So, my schedule, well, it's a little bit different now because, like, I actually just put my son into preschool or into a school. Like, my oldest one, I just put him into a preschool. So, because he, like, just needs to learn, and he's with us all day, and he doesn't learn. So it's a little bit different now in the last few days. But before that, gosh, oh my gosh. Okay. What's my schedule like? I'm sorry. I like to sleep in. And so, like, I don't wake up early. I wake up at like 9. And then my first thing is I do self-development. Like, I have to do self-development in the morning. I read at least 15 pages in my book. That's my goal, is reading 15 pages. I used to listen to self-development, and I used to be so big, like, I don't have time. It's the weirdest thing. I've had this weird shift, and like, reading and highlighting has been really huge for me. And that's something that I never did before. And so I thought I never had time, but when I started making time for it, it really changed my mindset. It's crazy. I started attracting crazy things. It's crazy. And so 15 minutes personal development, I read like a devotional or my Bible, and I like to write in like a journal, a prayer journal. Have you guys ever read the 40-day prayer? It's Draw the Circle. It's a 40-day prayer challenge. And oh my gosh, you guys, that book is life-changing. It's crazy. I even drew circles around some people on my team, and like, their business exploded like after me. I never told them that. They don't even know that. But like, their business exploded, but I prayed over them, over their circles. So, and it's been huge. Writing your prayers down. It's like, you don't realize that God's answering your prayers because you're not writing them down. And so once you start writing them down, it's like, oh, thanks, God. Oh my God, thank you for answering that. Like, and so it's really cool to write down the date that he answered your prayer. And it's just so crazy. And so I do the prayer journal, and then, okay, what's my first thing? I try to make a post. So that's my number one thing, is like, okay, let's open the business. Let's, do something inspirational, and then my next thing is I try to think of a story, because I think Instagram stories right now is just where it's at. Like, for me anyways, I feel like Instagram is where it's at. And so I try to think of something creative. I'm not creative. So a lot of times I'll like go to all y'all's pages and copy it. Just being real here. And then on the days I'm really creative, I come up with my own. But like, a lot of them, I think the best polls too are just asking like, hey, who wants to make an extra few $100s a month? And then you just do like, yes, me too, or send me info. And so I like to do those, because I feel like it gets, it's kind of like really repetitive, but I'm constantly adding to my network. And so that's my another thing I do, is I check Captivate every single day, making sure that I have actions. And I notice that sometimes mine stops. My Captivate stops sometimes. I don't know why. So I just clear all the actions out, and then I restart it. And so I try not to go over like 800 in the cloud. Does everybody understand what that meant? I'm assuming the Captivate.
My team should know for sure, because we've been talking about it a lot lately. So hopefully.
Yeah, it's where it's at. Captivate is awesome. And so I'll do the Captivate, and then I also run Cleaner. I just do both. I just make sure that they always have actions in them, actions to do. And then my other goal during the day, so my day is different after all of that, but those are the things I do right away. Personal development, per journal, that's like my goals right away, and then post. And then at any point during the day, I try to do a power hour. And sometimes it's like a power 15 minutes or a power 30 minutes. Or at the end of the day, I try to do a power hour, which is like right now we do it with like our team. And we'll say, hey, who wants power tonight? And we just get on Zoom. And I just try to send out 100 messages. And so my goal every day is to message 100 people, like whether I get it in, like I was doing really bad like the last couple of weeks, but I got it done today. And so I like get so excited about it. Just trying to reach out to 100 people. Like that is my goal, reach out to 100 people. And then I've been doing a lot of, obviously I accept followers because my account is private. And so I'm kind of just telling you how I work my business too. I don't know if you want to ask me questions.
Go for whatever you want.
So I'll accept followers, and I normally like to do that when like it's mindless. Accepting followers is so mindless. So like if like Riley's fine playing with himself, like he doesn't want to play with me 24/7. He wants to play with his trucks, and Mom doesn't really play with trucks very well. Like, and so he'll be out playing with his trucks, and Asher is too young to know anything, you guys. Like I worked my business really hard when Riley was like 0 to 7 months. And so like Asher, like we play, but he's with me 24/7, like, and I breastfeed him too. So, he doesn't really care. And so, I will follow, or I'll accept my followers, and when I accept them, I'll like 1 million of their photos. So basically I stalk everybody that follows me. And so, and what's so crazy, since I've been doing that recently, like in the last couple of weeks, like my interaction is massive. Like I get so many comments and so many more likes. I almost get more likes on my small account than my big account. And that's so crazy to me, but it's because I'm interacting way more. Like I feel like I have 2 Instagram accounts, but that's because I've already built my other one way really big. And so I'm working on like, I really only work one. My first one's just for show. And so, like the one that I really focus on has less followers, and it's more real. Like I know everybody on it. And so like I interact a lot, and they interact back with me, and then they feel like they know me, and then they go and watch my story. And that's really where and then like the featured on Instagram too is awesome. So make sure like you have your story up there, or like somebody else's story, or just success, because people want to see like not just you making money.
Yeah, and I noticed too on like my second account, like that's smaller, I get so much more interaction. I'm like, this is so crazy. Courtney and I were talking about that the other day. It's crazy. Let me look at my questions here. I was kind of like going on the fly a minute ago. Okay, so basically, I know you go live on Facebook a lot. So do you have like certain things that you talk about, or do you just kind of like do whatever you're doing that day? Because I even myself don't know what to go live about. I'm like, what am I going to talk about? That's not just about the business. You know what I mean? So like, do you have like, or you just wing it? Because I feel like you kind of wing it, but I also feel like you kind of have like a purpose while you're there. And I'm just like, I don't know.
Oh, dude, I so wing it. But so I was just thinking about that today. I was like, dude, I really need to go live. And so like it's almost like I say like, okay, I need to go live. Like, what should I talk about? I almost ask myself, I just say, what should I talk about? And I kind of just let it go. And like, when you do that, you truly can, you're so powerful. Like if you knew how powerful your mind was, like it's crazy. And so that's why I love doing self-development, because like you can really ask yourself questions. So I'll say, what should I go live about? And like I let it go. And then like later on, like today I asked myself, and then all of a sudden I got this idea in my head, and I was like, dude, I should go live with somebody. And I've never done that before. It's the first time like I totally winged that today, but it was, I've seen other companies. I watch what people do. I want to know what all successful people do, because you can be successful and follow other successful people. And so I see a lot of other companies going live with people. Like, so like if you go live with a sideline and you talk about their story, talk about like how they lost weight, talk about like anything, and people will watch it. And so I went live with a girl who lost like 57 pounds on our team, and like people are eating it up. I was like, dude, this is awesome. So that's what I did today. But otherwise, I don't ever know what to go live about either. But there's 2 things that I do. I always like to go live with my keto coffee in the morning. I love going live with my keto coffee because people are seeing me drink it, and it's consistent. Whether it's me just making the coffee, talking about the coffee, because I can always talk about the coffee, and I'll talk about the coffee over and over and over again every day. I could literally do that every day because it's awesome. But they need to hear it, because when you're watching commercials, you're doing it. You're seeing commercials. Why? How many times did they say like, I don't really watch TV anymore, but when I used to watch TV, how many times did like the McDonald's commercial come on? Like every freaking 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Like how many times do I need to watch the Big Mac and get hungry? Like, and so like people need to see your stuff, 7 to 21 times before they even think about trying it. And so if I could go live and speed up that process a little bit more. I have 2 things I want to say. And also going live, and they seeing your face, they're seeing who you are, so you want to be you. And people will buy from people they know, love, and trust. And so if you go live and they're watching you because they're at their desk at work, or even if you're at work and you go live at lunch break, it doesn't matter. Like, people need to know who you are, because once they know you and they hear you, they trust you. They know, love, and trust. And the more they watch you, the more they'll fall in love with your life. Like, if you have cute kids, if your kids are funny, like, put your kids on live, because like Riley has a following because he's hilarious. Like, he's such a turd, but he's so funny that like people want to see him. And so they love our family because I'm showing our family life. And so you just have to figure out what could people love about you, And so the other thing that I do is, so I do the personal development in the morning, and it gives me things to go live about. Mm-hmm. So if you're reading a book and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so good, go live and share it. Be like, oh my gosh, I'm reading this book. I literally will read from the book, like, because I'm so fired up. But when I think about it, like, okay, Pam Souter, she goes live. She goes live on her business page about Tony Robbins, stuff that she learned at Tony Robbins. You get like people like Mark Pentecost, his speech at the green carpet in Dallas, what came from the book, How Champions Think. I'm literally reading that book, and I said, Mark, I know where you got that from. Like, I was literally like, oh my gosh, like Mark Pentecost, our CEO, gets things from books to talk about. And so when you're reading things, like, it's just growing your mind, and then you can go live and talk about those things, or just go live. I've heard other people say go live and talk about when you get I need to start doing this because I heard this is huge. When you get your mail, your It Works mail, open up your box and just be like, oh my God, I'm so excited. This is what I got this month. And then just talk about the products and just say, like, before you get on, you're like, everybody's in my inbox and asking me so many questions. So like, dude, even if they're not in your inbox, everybody's in your inbox. I've had so many questions. Like, I literally cannot keep up with enough. Like, so I thought I would go live. Like, just say that all the time. And hopefully eventually you'll speak it into existence.
Yeah. They don't know. Yeah. That's what, I love about lives is to, like, do you go live just on Facebook or Instagram or both?
Well, I used to have 2 phones because I was selling my old one, but I sold it. And so I used to be able to put them side by side, and I would just go live one time, like, get it done. But yeah. I think if you go live on an iPad, I don't know. So that'd be cool because you could do it at the same time. Yeah. I think iPad mini may be able to. But yeah, I used to go live at the same time, but going live on Instagram is huge too. And I don't do it enough. I wish I would, because I've had people come to me and say, yeah, I watched your Instagram. It's crazy. It's like they don't like, I think Instagram, you almost have to show your real face more, like even if you do little video clips, because people only see your pictures and they're like, I don't know if this is a scam. I don't even know who this girl is. But if you go live, they know you. And it doesn't even have to be about It Works. And I do go live about It Works Keto Coffee, and then they're like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like,
yes. And I have heard too that like doing videos and like using features that Instagram has on your story, like boost your stuff more. I was on that Zoom training the other night that Cammie did. And I was like, that's so awesome. Like, cause I like doing videos on Instagram. So I was just curious if you did one or the other. Okay. And something too, I want to talk about, you talked about following up, and something that you said, I don't know if it's a Zoom or a live or what it was, but one day you're like 6 to 9 months, like everybody has a lifestyle change. And that like spoke to me because I did before I joined, like 6 months before I joined this business. If someone would have asked me, I would have been like, I don't need that. But then literally 6 months later, I was in a completely different situation. I was broke. I needed this business so badly. And if I wouldn't have saw this, or if somebody was following up with me, like I would have been like, yeah, like now I definitely need this. So can you just kind of talk about that for a minute?
Yeah. And so what's so crazy, it's me too, 6 months. So like when I started, like when somebody, my cousin approached me, I was, just graduating college. I thought, oh my gosh, like life is going to be so great. I'm going to get the best job in the world, like go off and make all this money. Cause I feel like they just like totally set us up to like fail. I'm sorry. Like college sometimes does, like they literally do. They're like, you're going to go and get this degree and you have this big like ceremony. And then all of a sudden you're like, like, nobody wants to hire me. You know what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to do now? Unless you're like a doctor or like a nurse, it's different. Like if you're, I don't know, whatever. I can go off of that. But anyways, 6 months later, yeah, I hated my job. Like I needed this. Like, and so you like everybody almost everybody has a life change within 6 to 9 months. And so I even think about this. Okay, let's say you talk to somebody in December, okay, Christmas. You're like, hey, maybe you should make some extra money for Christmas. And they said no. Well, you know what? 6 to 9 months later is summer. And what happens? I feel like my family, I always call them energy shifts. Like right now we're going through an energy shift. Like summer's in, we're in a new season of our life. Like this is different because like it's just different. And so like, it's not just me. Everybody, 6 to 9 months, people have babies. You can get pregnant and have a baby in about 9 to 10 months. Like, and so you may have been talking to somebody and now they have a child and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm a newborn mom. Like, I don't even know what to do. I need money. Okay. People could lose their job like within 6 to 9 months. People move. Somebody could have gotten hurt. Somebody could have gotten sick. Like 6 to 9 months is a long time of life. And so if you're constantly just kind of keeping in touch with somebody, like, hopefully your day is going good. I don't follow up like that. Well, like I should. I'm pretty direct and to the point. But like if you're liking their stuff or kind of interacting, they're going to, and continuing to post and continuing to stay in this business and continuing to be consistent, they're going to know in 6 to 9 months, oh, you're right. I may need this. Because I have messaged people before and they were like, no, I would never do something like this, or I am not interested. And then all of a sudden, like 6 months later, or 9 months later, or a year later, they're like, oh my God, can you just tell me about this? Because like now I need it.
Yes.
But like
so crazy.
You can't just blow it up.
It's so crazy. I like to go and look at people that like are my runners now and go back and look and see how I sign them. And sometimes, like, I have a girl, I don't know if she's on here or not, but I literally followed up with her like 15 times, like where she did not respond. She was ignoring me. And then finally, like one day she was like, okay, what have you been talking about? Like, I need this business. And I'm just like, it like kind of gives you inspiration. Like go back to the people, if you've signed distributors, like go back and look and see how you sign them, because I guarantee you that most of them didn't sign on the spot. So it's good, like reassurance for me to like go back and look at people. And then there's some people like that I'm like, oh crap, like thank God she came to me because I didn't follow up with her. So then I'm like, I can't do that to everybody, because like Veronica, she's about to go double diamond and she came to me 3 times and I literally didn't follow up. And I was like, dude, like I would not have her on my team if God didn't, first of all, put her here, but I need to follow up better with people. And so oh my gosh, like that literally gave me anxiety when I saw that, because I was just going through looking and I was like, dude, this would have been so bad if somebody else had been following up with her more than me, because she would have went to them instead of me because they were constantly on her and I wasn't. So you have to remember that, like when you're following up too, like you may feel like you're annoying them, but they're probably reading them and thinking like, okay, maybe I should do this, but they're just not telling you that. Or if they don't have the money, like they may feel like they're too embarrassed to tell you that they don't have the money to join. Like you never know what they're going through or what they're thinking. So don't think that it's you. Just keep following up with them until they block you or tell you to shut up is basically what I do. So I'm like, they haven't told me to shut up yet and I'm still able to send messages. So I'm going to keep following up with them. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so we have a lot of people on here like pushing for promotions this month. There's bonuses and things for them to get, that's really exciting. So whenever your team or you or whatever have been going for a promotion or bonuses, what are things that you have done to make those happen? Like sacrifices, or are there certain things you do every day? Like just kind of in detail.
Okay, so Gosh, the last day of the month, like I had two, like it was crazy. Last month was so crazy. But anyways, on the last day of the month, I had 3 girls the last day, last weekend. I mean, most of them the last day, pulling 1,000 to 2,000 volume in by themselves, because
That's
like they were
awesome.
going for promotion. And so what had happened was, one of the girl was like 1,000 from Emerald, going Emerald, and I called her and I said, girl, like, you could do this. I said, you could do this. So I thought sometimes I think people need to hear your voice and like just like really be encouraged. So what I did is I had charted her and I had what she had and what she needed in each box. So like if Amanda needed 54, I put on the side, I always chart what they're at. And then on the side of the charts, I always write Amanda needs 54. So-and-so needs this. And I literally write the list. So they say, okay, this is what I need. Because then when you start signing customers, it's easier to like figure out where to place them. So I showed it to her like that. And she literally, I go, girl, like I just spoke life in her. I was like, you could do this. This is so possible. Like I've seen crazy things happen the last day of the month. And like she did it. She pulled in and it was the craziest thing. But I think sometimes people on your team need to see like how close they are or what exactly they need. Because I don't, sometimes like if you show like, oh, you only need 54 VV, oh, you only need a box of wraps, or, oh, hey, you only need like 2 systems and you're done. Like, I think sometimes breaking it down for your team, because obviously you know what you need, but sometimes like the people on your team don't know what they need. My sister pulled in 2,000 in volume, like within the last 48 hours. She's flipping on fire. And so how she did it is she was actually calling all of her loyal customers. So like she's really good at, hey, this is how many perk points you have. You can get this much off the 4-pack of keto coffee, because she's a really big, like she loves the keto coffee and chocolate greens. So using perk points, that's huge. She's very good at that. My other girl, Brianna, brought in, oh my God, she brought in so much volume. It's insane. But she brought in like in the last 4 days, because she also promoted to Emerald too. And what was she doing? She was following up. So like that's like for promoting, like, okay, so here's the deal. Like you should have been messaging or you should have been reaching out to people for the last couple of months. Like, and if you haven't, that's fine. Start reaching out now. But promoting doesn't happen that month. It happens months before. And so if you have been working, well, now you should have like a list of leads to be following up with. And so here's some messages that I had some of my girls send out. I said, hey, I'm going for a really huge promotion. And if it doesn't matter to you when we get your order in, it would help me out so much if we could do it this week, or if we could do it today before 6 p.m. Like we always be so, because she needed it before. I always said, tell them before 6 p.m. because we don't want to stay up all night and for all. And so if you give them a specific and say, people always, it's weird. People love, there's so many yellows in this world. And so people love to help you and they want to be a part of your promotion. So if you truly say like, I'm going for a life-changing promotion. And if it doesn't matter to you when you get your hair, skin, and nails, is there any way you could, or would you be able to order it by midnight? Like it would help me out so much. So like that was really, really good. That message helped a lot of people. The other thing is
that whenever I went presidential, I just went through my contacts and I was like, listen, like I'm going for $100,000 bonus. Like, do you love me enough to order something? That's literally what I said.
What?
I texted Tyson's friends, my friends, every single person on my phone. I was like, going for $100,000 bonus. Do you love me enough to order? And like, I signed like 20 customers in 2 days just because.
No way.
Yes, just because I was like going through being like, please, like, do you love me? Will you please order? And sometimes I would like feel awkward because it's people that I kind of talk to, but not really. But I was like, whatever, I don't care. Like, I need this bonus. I need this promotion. And so I went for it. And like, I had so many people, like so many guys, and like guys, they'll just buy anything. They'll be like, yeah, like, I don't care if it's $200, like sign me up, So I got a lot of high BV orders. And I feel like texting and like reaching out to people personally is just so beneficial, like especially if you're just like sincere, like people are like, yeah, I want to help you, like, yeah, what I need to do. And I'm like, oh, well, can you just order something? Like, you can order one thing or 10 things, like anything will help. And so I love that. Like, that's exactly what I did too whenever I was going presidential, is I just texted everybody in my phone. Just like, do you love me?
That's good. Oh my gosh, that's really good. That's really good. I need to get on this with you. Yeah, and then I would say, like, do that and then follow up, because now is the time to follow up with all those people. That's why I always said, like, if it doesn't matter to you when you order, would you order now? People love helping people. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. And I just too think it's so important to know, like, a promotion is not over. Like, it's not out of reach until, you know, it's June 1st. And even if you get so close and you don't make it, like, you're that much closer for next month. And you have to keep that mentality, because if you're pushing for it all month long, like it's going to happen this month, it's either going to happen or it's going to happen next month. And something like, if you're on my team or whatever, like, you know this, but I needed 13,588 BV the week that I went triple diamond. And we made it happen. And like, crazy things can happen in the last week of this business. And so you just have to, like, remember that, like, nothing is out of reach. Just like, I know Courtney Sharp talks about her story. Like, if you've heard her story, like, she got 2,000 BV in like 3 days or something. Like, you can make your promotions happen. And just know that if you literally have the mentality of, like, it's going to happen, like, it will happen. And so I had to add that in there, because you saying,
people, like, come out of the woodwork. I'm telling you, like, they did the craziest things. When people say, like, crazy things because you've made it in your head, this is going to happen. And it's like the law of attraction. It's like God, like, he sends people to you, like, that you were like, I wasn't even talking to this person, but I was talking to all these other people, and this person ordered it. It's like when you decide and you imagine, you already know, like, it just happens.
And if you're willing to do whatever it takes, like, you'll think of the craziest things. And like, even just texting people, they'll be like, oh yeah, like, I have a friend that might want to do this with me. And I'm like, yeah, what's their number? Like, let me call them, talk to them about it. So like, you guys just have to know, like, your mindset is so much of this business, and doing whatever it takes to promote. Like, don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. I was terrified to text Tyson's friends or like people on my phone that I don't talk to all the time. Like, it was terrifying. But when they responded, I was like, oh yeah, like, this is awesome. Or if they didn't, I was just like, whatever, when I see them next time, like, it's going to be fine. I'm just going to act like I never texted them, you know? So you just have to, like, do what you got to do to make it happen. Okay, let me see what I have on here. Okay, so assigning distributors, like, how do you sign your distributors? Do you get it from posts, follow-up, messaging? Like, do you message for distributors at all?
So I would say a majority of my distributors come from following up, which I need to follow up. I was just thinking about that. I was like, I haven't signed that many this month yet. So I was like, dude, I think I need to follow up. Like, and then I come this massive follow up. It's crazy. But like, yeah, I think majority of mine would come from following up. But then, like, how I get interest, I would say, like, right now, I would say it's mostly like Instagram polls, you know, about asking people if they want to make extra money. And then obviously posts, telling my story and telling other people's stories. And then like the highlights, that's where majority of that's like all my distributors come from. And then I have people that have been watching for years. Cause don't compare my 4 or 5, almost 5 years to, you know, if you just started, like, I have just so many leads, but that doesn't mean that you can't sign people too. Like, I signed people in the beginning too. My first person was my mom. And so you just got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Yes, you do. You have to make it happen, like, however that is. Okay, so whenever you do sign a distributor, like, what are some things that you do to, like, get them going, and how do you get them started in the business to make sure that they're, like, running with it?
I'm going to start trying new things, because I don't know. I think I like to try different things to see what works. So honestly, at the end of the day, like, no matter what you do, I feel like the people that are going to work, they work.
Yeah.
You know, it's because sometimes I'm like, and this is the devil, dude. I'm telling you guys, if you've ever felt like this, like, he'll say, like, you're not being a good leader, or you're not doing enough. And I was like, but I'm doing it. Like, it's crazy, because, like, I'm like, why did this training work for this person and it didn't work for this person? I said, it's just because not everybody wants it, you know? And so don't get too hard on yourself if it doesn't work. And just know, like, you can't say the wrong thing to the right people. All right. You can't train the wrong person, like the right way, and you can't train the right person the wrong way, because the right person will go out and figure it out themselves, you know?
Yes.
And so, or they'll come to you and they will literally annoy you. And I love it. I love annoying people. Like, they're not even annoying. I'm like, you're amazing. Just message people. Anyway, so the first thing that I do is that they sign up and I ask them, what's your why? I say, because I like to know, like, why are you doing this? And I think I like to remind them why they're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't bring it back on them later on. I just want to know why you're doing this. Like, because I think they need to I need to know if, like, they're kind of serious or not. And so the second thing I do is I voice message them. And so I have to either get them on Facebook or iPhone, because, you know, I need the voice, because I feel like they need to hear me. And I say, it's this, and I have it, so I just forward it. If it's on my messages, I copy and paste it. It's the same message every single time. It says, hey, like, I'm so excited for you. I just want you to know I'm so excited for you, and I just want you to know I'm going to be here every step of the way. And we're going to take this one step at a time. And I say literally one step at a time. And I'm going to send you a step, and I'm not going to send you the next step until you tell me that you're ready, because we're going to take this at your pace. Because I think sometimes there's like, I sign really busy people, and I also sign people that can do it really fast. And so I don't want to overwhelm them. So I do one step at a time. And I also say, you know, I work with a lot of people, and so I don't know that you need help unless you tell me. I said, I need you to tell me if you're feeling excited, if you're discouraged, if you're feeling this, if you're feeling that. I said, I don't care how you're feeling. I want to know. I said, I need you to tell me, and I need you to reach out to me, because I cannot read your mind. I literally say this because then I feel like I'm putting it on them. And I also say, I want you to blow up my phone. You will never be annoying. Like, I literally need you to blow up my phone, and I will run with you. I don't even like, and I probably gonna say I'll walk with you, but mostly I like to run with you. You know, like, yeah, I said, I'll yeah. So that's what I do. The voice message is huge, because I feel like then at that point, like, if they don't run with me, then it's not my fault. You know, I don't know. I think it makes me feel better. Like, if they don't do anything, I'm like, well, at least I tried. Like,
yeah. And I think, like, voice messaging too is huge, because for me, like, building on social media, the hardest part is building relationships with your team, because you don't see them every day and you're not face to face. And, like, if I see them at conferences for like 30 minutes, and, you know, it's just like super hard to build a relationship through your phone. And so I do think that the voice messaging or FaceTime or whatever you're most comfortable with helps so much, just because, like, they feel like they know you better just from hearing your voice rather than like a text message. So I love that. I think it's super awesome. I need to start doing
and then after that, I say, here, post this. Like, I don't even, like, I always give them a post. Like, I'm looking for hair models or something. Like, just give them a post. Whatever you do, here, post this, let me know when you're done. Because I need
really
them to
have
start.
No idea what to do. Yeah.
They have no idea what to do. So I say, post this right now. Let me know when you're posted. And then I say, I'll walk you through every conversation, like, screenshot me. And then I also, like, here, log in. Tell me when you're done. Like, because I like to get them to log in, because I'm check matched right now. So if they don't log in, I don't get money. So I'm like, you need to log in right now. And I'm like, so I'm getting. Look, it's extra motivating for me, because I'm like, listen, I need you to do well. Like, we're gonna do this together. Like, I'm super motivated to help them, but sometimes they still don't want to work. It's fine. No, the next people I'm signing are working. I do have workers. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to be really positive, but I'm just letting you know it happens in me too. You know?
No, it does. Like, so, and I've noticed, I'm like, okay, sometimes you think, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, am I not leading wrong? Am I doing something wrong?
Yeah.
And then you sign somebody and you do the same exact thing and they take off, and you're just like, oh, well, nope, it's just the people. Like, it's not you. Yeah. It's them. Like, if they don't want to work.
So it's hard to, So yeah, I say, I do the, I totally lost where I was. And then I send them the Jade Hooper 15-minute getting started video. Mm-hmm. And I say, hey, this is super old. But I love the video because everybody, like, relates to her. And so I'm like, here, I train with her. Like, I love her YouTube videos. Like, she's super relatable. And people, like, I'm successful too, but they see that other people are successful. And so I don't have a struggle story like she does. And so I feel like it kind of helps a little bit. So like her YouTube video is awesome. So I send the 15-minute getting started. I say, hey, the Ruby bonus isn't here. The Emerald bonus is here. But this is the basics. It is. It's just this. It's, you know what I'm talking about. It's like the getting started. It's a 15-minute video. Say, let me know when you're done. Then the other video I send is hers about like getting your 4 loyal customers. And
I love that video. Yeah, sealing the deal. That one. Yeah, that's such a good
one. That one too. That one, and then the other one. I send this to everybody because it teaches them like the 3-3 rule. But I actually think I'm going to need to make a new video because I don't think that 3-3 rule is relevant anymore. No. And so, like I don't do it like that anymore. And so, I kind of need to train my trainings a little bit. But that's basically what I do. And then we kind of just go from there. And I just pray that they get through that. Because then we
live it out alive.
They just kind of. Yeah, I'm like, let's just get through this, and then I know that you're ready. Like, we can do this. Like, we'll figure it out together, kind of.
Okay, so somebody asked, like, what do you sell the most? So I'm going to, like, do you promote only a certain amount of products, or do you promote this, like, one product that I know for me, like, I promote, like, 4 products every month, and I promote those same products every month just because I feel like when I choose 4 and I'm only posting about those 4, that's what I sell. So I don't know, like, yes. Do you like focus on only a certain amount of products or certain products, or are they always the same? Because I feel like,
I guess I never
new. Yeah, especially if you're new and you're like showing them we have facial things and we have weight loss and we have energy and we have all this, like, it's just so overwhelming, I feel like, for your audience. And so do you have like certain products that you go to?
Dang, I never thought about it like that. But I promote products that I love.
Yeah.
And so to me, they're probably about 4 products. But what's really cool is so I would say if you're new, you need to hurry up, get to 4 loyal customers, family members, and get your $100 shopping spree and then use the products, because then you can get your own testimony. And what I suggest getting with that is the Fit 30 because you get so many products. And so that's really like, keto coffee and chocolate greens are like my life. Like, and so, I post about that every single day. Keto coffee, chocolate greens, hair, skin, and nails. Oh my God. Like my hair was like, it's crazy. My hair is super long, but I love it. And so I promote the hair, skin, and nails, keto coffee, chocolate greens. And then, for weight loss, I actually promote the Fit 30. So those are like the 4, but the Fit 30 has like everything in it. And it's the best
such a good price
deal. It's such a good deal. Like you cannot get a better deal on their products than getting the Fit 30.
Yeah.
Seriously, like you get a whole month's supply of a keto coffee, and I lost a ton of weight. I lost like 60 plus pounds. And so I was using the Fit 30. And so for me, it's easy to show people or tell people about it because that's what I use. But I sell a ton of keto coffee, chocolate greens. Like that's probably a majority of my loyals. I should choose a bigger product orders, but like that's like really what I sell because that's what I love.
Yeah,
so I don't
just like what you talk about consistently is what people want to buy. But I do think that you should just keep it to like a certain amount of products every month just so that you're not overwhelming them because they're like, oh, well, I might like that, or I might like that, or I might like that, or I don't know, there's too much stuff. Like people I am a person that gets overwhelmed so easily. And so if I saw all these different things, I would just be like, I'm not going to order because I can't even decide like one thing. So I think that it's important just to talk about like a few things, show results, and people are going to see it over and over and over and over again. They're going to be like, okay, I have to have this. Like I keep seeing results, so I want it. Even just
I never thought about that. That's so good.
Yeah, and even just doing like, sometimes I just focus on like one product a week. Like in my story, I'll do like 1 week I'll do keto coffee and chocolate greens every single morning. All my results are keto coffee and chocolate greens, and I'll sell so much keto coffee and chocolate greens. And I know that's why, because people are just seeing it over and over and over again. They're like, okay, well, sick of seeing this. Like I'm just ready to try it for myself. So I think that it is important to like pick products that you love or like you want to try or you see good results with. And I love the keto coffee just because everybody loses weight. Everybody that I've ever had use it loses weight. And so that's my go-to. Like it's so awesome to know that you can literally drink coffee and lose weight. So like who doesn't want to do that? So I just think you should just share it with the world. Okay, so we're almost to an hour. So I'm just going to go ahead and in this with like what has either been your biggest aha moment in this business, or what is your biggest tip in this business that you found like the most helpful, or both, whatever you want to do?
Okay. So, I don't like, this is like, I get so fired up because like, I'm such an entrepreneur, you guys, because I feel like when I started, I wasn't. So I think personal development, obviously number one, like you want to go somewhere, your mind has to go first. Like, regardless if you believe that or not, your mind will go first. And then you're like, you catch up eventually. And so I was even talking to like Denise Walsh about it because I was like, Denise, like, dude, I got to go Black Diamond. What's up? Like, I'm like, do I just have to grow? And I'm like, what do I got to do? And she's like, that's really what it is. You got to get your mind there first. I'm like, I have to become a Black Diamond before it just comes, you know? And so, go to work so hard on yourself. Like, go to work, like that should be your number one. Like, I know, like obviously you have to put in the work and stuff, but what's so crazy is when you develop yourself, you will like be so inspired to take action. Like, going to work on yourself, you'll end up working more because you're like, you take inspired action. It's crazy, but like, this book I'm reading is actually really good right now. It's called Maximum Achievement. It's deep, so it took me like a long time to read. But anyways, I keep talking with I don't know if I've been talking with this the whole time, but anyways, let me talk with my finger now. My other thing that I would say, why I say I'm such an entrepreneur, is I just think about this. Like, seriously, like if I like just want to wake everybody up, because I'm like, listen, how old are y'all? Like, I'm 27. I'm like, people work till they're 50, 60 years old. I'm like, do you want to work for the next 40 years of your life? Seriously, I'm like, get it together now. So what if you work for 4 years? I worked my ass off for 4 years before I'd work for 40. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it. Like, this fires me up. I could literally go live on Facebook about this right now. I'm about to after this. I'm so fired up right now because I'm like, listen, like, I just don't understand. Like, our whole society is so brainwashed. They're so brainwashed. Like, I was brainwashed. I was like, go to school. I did that. I went for 4 years and I still couldn't get a job. And then if I would have worked 40 hours for 40 years plus. All right, do you want to do that for the rest of your life? You may love your job. Cool. Do it. But why not build a business on the side and then maybe retire 10 years early? Can you wrap your brain around that? Because sometimes people can't, like, so not everybody wants to go full-time entrepreneur, which I don't understand. But even if, wouldn't it be cool to, retire 5 years early? I know y'all aren't thinking about retirement, so like, let's get real. Wouldn't it be cool to pay for your vacations in cash? Like, pay off those credit cards. Wouldn't it be cool to be debt-free? Like, debt-free is where it's at. Like, why wouldn't you want to be debt-free? And you know what? Like, this makes me I was so fired up about this too. I was talking to somebody and I'm like, we went debt-free. Like, we're debt-free besides our house. And somebody's like, yeah, but that's okay. Debt-free or mortgage is the only good debt to have. And I said, you know what? There's no good debt to have. I was like, there's no good debt to have. I said, I'm trying to pay this off. I was like, I want to be debt free. Mark Pentecost says, how awesome is it to sleep in a house that's paid for? Mm-hmm. Like, how cool. And I was like, man, I want to get there. Like, and so I'm striving to pay off our house. Like, I want to pay off this this big house that we bought. And so like, I'm working towards that. But, I just feel like you don't have to accept what society tells you. Like, stop accepting what people tell you is good. Like, just because somebody's like, oh, well, what you're doing is not good. I'm like, dude, what you're doing sucks. And I ain't going to do that for the next 40 years of my life. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's time for everybody to wake up. I was like, take control of your life. Like, you can do this business, but you got to get your butt up and work. Like, work on yourself first and then go to work hard because you're already working hard for somebody else. That's just what I don't get. I'm like, you're already working. You're getting up every single day. I've been there. I fought traffic. For like an hour getting there and coming home. I was like, and I wasn't getting paid to fight traffic. You know what I mean? Like, just wake up and realize you're either going to work hard for the next 20, 30 years for somebody else, or you can go to work hard for 4 to 5 years. Even if you worked 5 years seriously hard at this business and you made $4,000 or $5,000 a month,
Pay
Is that more than you're going to make at your job? You know, or like, and yeah, you're going to have to sacrifice things. It just is what it is, because you're already like, you're either like going to watch TV or you're going to make money. Like you're either going to do these things or you're like, you sacrifice 24/7. Right now, if you work a job, you're sacrificing your time right now working at your job for making $12 an hour. Like so you sacrifice all the time. It's just, you have to decide like, what will you give up now so that you can have later? And you know what? You have to figure it out. So figure out what's the price that you have to pay. It's 2 hours a day. You know, like you could really truly work this business like hardcore, like in those 2 hours, focus. I get way more done in an hour to 2 hours a day than I would working all day. So don't like, I don't care if you say you have no time, like you have time, because I'm like, I'm freaking busy. And so like, but I'm saying like, figure out what's the price. What's the price? Do you have to wake up an hour early, wake up, you know, go to bed an hour later, get 4 hours of sleep? I don't know. What's the price that you have to pay? And are you willing to pay that price? Because not everybody is. And that's why there's 1% of the population makes 99% of the money. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be that 1%. Because I'm willing to do whatever it takes. You know what I mean? But like, even if you weren't a part of the 1%, wouldn't you want to be a part of the 2%? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, at least making some extra money. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you have to quit your job. I'm just saying like, you can change your life, and this business is the vehicle. This business is the vehicle. And I'll end with this because I was looking at, I just thought it was so cool. So I was looking at the direct sales, not 2018 because It Works wasn't a part of it because they chose not to be. But I was looking at the direct sales list for 2017, I think. And I was looking at like what every company was making and stuff. And I was looking at it and I go, hey, like, you know, we're number 33. And he's like, well, who's number 1? And I was like, I don't know, like Avon or something, like it's like Avon or like Avon and Amway. And it's so crazy. I used to be a part of Amway when I was 18 and I had no idea. Yeah, whatever. I lost a ton of money. It is what it is. It just wasn't for me. And so anyways, he goes, well, Carrie, how long has Amway been around? I don't know. I said, I don't know, like 70 years. 50,
Yeah.
70. And then he goes, and he was number 2. And I'm like, so-and-so. He's like, well, how long have they been around? I said, I don't know, like 50 to 70 years. He said, how long has It Works been around? And I was like, 17 years. And he goes, Carrie, like, we're not only in a company that's growing, but we're with a CEO who wants to be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so he's like, if you want to work and you want to be part of that, like, you could really be part of taking them to being number 1. Like, and so to be a part of this massive growth that's about to happen, that is happening, like, that's huge. Like, other companies, how motivated are they to be number 1 if they already are? Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like
we're so already hungry. Just like,
yes, that's what he said. He said they're hungry. He said It Works is hungry, and they're giving us the tools. We have the fit packs. We have the, we have the fit coins. We have the bonuses. Like, they come out with stuff all the time. We have this new keto line. Like, they're constantly evolving because they know, hey, what do we need to do to get beyond $1 billion? Which just means that they want to make more money, which means that we are going to make more money, so I'm just waiting to get this big, massive part of the pie. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's so, I say all the time, like, it's so amazing to be with a company that has a CEO that actually cares. Like, I could never, ever go anywhere else or imagine being with someone else because our CEO, like Mark, is so freaking awesome. Like, they are so amazing. They're always pouring into us. They always, like, I feel like my business now feels like it did when I started in 2015. Like, it just feels new and like fresh and amazing, and I'm so excited. And you freaking like pump everybody up. Like, I swear, I just love you so much. You're just like a fire. Like, you're just so like always so excited and just so passionate, and that's what I love about you. And you had so many like good points, and I know like my phone's already blowing up. Like, oh my god, I have chills. Like, she's amazing, and like people are just like texting me, and I love having you on Zooms. But I think this is the first one that you've ever done for our team. And I was like, why have we not had her on here sooner? Like, she's so fun.
I don't know. I think I had Courtney do one for my team like years ago. And then I don't think we really, I feel like I pulled everybody else on mine, but no. That's so funny. Y'all are
Carrie is my
so
spirit animal. No, literally. Thank you so much for doing this. I was going to say something and then I totally forgot what it was, but I loved having you on. I know there's like so many aha moments that everybody had. So thank you so much. And I have this recorded, so I'll put it on YouTube and let you know like when it's uploaded if you want to share it with your team or whatever. But thank you so much. Loved it. Look, everyone's like,
see you guys later.
bye.